Good afternoon and welcome to the first webinar in which one of the second-year universities will be presented. So to follow this webinar, welcome to the first webinar. You should actually check the IMBRSea YouTube channel. Yeah, at the right-hand side, if you log in with your IMBRSea email account, you should see a chat box. Yeah. Via the chat box, you can ask concrete questions that will be answered after there has been a presentation by Jean-Marc Guarini. I will now give the floor to Jean-Marc, who will present UPMC to you and what they have on offer for the second year, so for the first semester of the second year. So that's the goal of this webinar. Enjoy the webinar. After the presentation, we will look at the questions and see how we can answer these. Jean-Marc, I give the floor to you now.
Thank you, Tim. Hello, everybody. So I hope you can hear me clear, and I will try to give you some information for the second year and for what we call the semester 3. So I will share my screen. So now you should see my screen, and I will put a full screen so you can actually see everything. So I'm working at UPMC, and I will present you this. I'm currently in my office, and as you can see, I am a professor at University of Paris, and my expertise is in the field of modeling. Modeling that I apply for ecological systems, but also for biological systems, and finally, one of our specialty in Paris is numerical models and numerical methods. So we will develop this a little bit further for the third semester, which is really a semester of specialization. So you can have this in a more elaborated way. So the UPMC is a Parisian university, and it's all Parisian university. Even if you can see the campus on the right picture here, that is a campus which is a modern set of buildings, but it's in the heart of Paris, and it's actually quite a nice place. Also, most of the teaching will take place in the main stations. So the University of Paris has 3 main stations, that are kind of sort of small campuses, and with different specialties, and where finally the marine science is organized. So the 3 main stations are Roscoff in the Channel Sea, Villefranche-sur-Mer, and Bagnols-sur-Mer, and the courses will take place in Roscoff and Bagnols-sur-Mer. So that's where you will be hosted. Total number of people working in mine sciences are about 600 researchers, engineers, and technicians, which is close to the size of an institute like IMBRSea, for example. So it's a really large task force into mine sciences. There is a laboratory on the main campus as well, but most of the research, as I said, is taking place in the mine stations, and then to go to the mine station is also to get really closer to research and to be a little bit in the environment of research, which is mainly important for the third semester when you get truly the final specialization before to go to the thesis. So I will introduce you the 2 mine stations mainly where the courses are taking place, Roscoff and Bagnols. So Roscoff is a big mine station. It's the biggest mine station of the 3 ones in Paris. It has about 300 people working full time in this mine station, and then hosting also many students from undergraduates to PhD programs. The specialty field of Roscoff is marine genomics, which they apply to marine flora and fauna. They have a lot of molecular biology that they apply for medical sciences. They have a unit of marine ecology, and they have finally a department in developmental biology. So the advantage of Roscoff is the large intertidal areas. It's also a place where the biodiversity is very high, so it's already subject to many measures of conservation, and that's why most of the track in conservation will take place. The second mine station is Bagnols-sur-Mer. It's the smallest one of the three mine stations, and it's close to the Spanish border, as you have seen before. It's a mine station which has also a specialty, mainly in marine ecology and ecogeochemistry. So it's one of the units. It's one of the other research units study environmental genomics. Another one study developmental biology in link with Roscoff as well, and they have many studies in common. And finally, there is a fourth unit, which is a unit between pure research and technical advancement in microbiology. It's a unit with application with industrial partner in biotechnology and application for medical or paramedical science. So the difference with Roscoff is that there is absolutely no tide in Bagnols-sur-Mer, except if you are very rigorous and you can start to observe something which concerns a few centimeters. So there is no big tide as Roscoff, so no intertidal area. It's all subtidal. It's a subtidal area, but with a large biodiversity. And a difference with Roscoff is that the large biodiversity is not made with a lot of abundance, but mainly with low abundance populations. And we have some particularities because quite close to the coast, close is about 10 nautic miles. We have deep canyons in which there are cold water corals, and this part of the Mediterranean is where the diversity of cold water corals is maximum. So concerning the IMBRSea program now, the IMBRSea program is hooked in the University of Paris with the master in environmental science. It's a very, very broad master with many specialties, and one of the specialties, which is mainly organizing a few tracks, is the specialty in marine sciences. So students of the marine sciences tracks will follow same courses as you may choose to follow in the third semester. So all courses are given at the two mine stations of Bagnols and Roscoff. It's also all courses. I say all courses but one because the scientific communication will be organized as a central way and will be organized wherever you can be. But also we can assist you in mine station with this course as well. The courses are in two specialization tracks. One is future oceans, and this one will take place mainly in Bagnols-sur-Mer. And there is a second specialization track, which is in mainly in Roscoff, about conservation. And this one is mixed with water quality. So 2 tracks, 18 ECTS for each of the tracks, and 18 ECTS organized in 3 courses. I will come back on this after, but each of the courses give 6 ECTS, and the 3 courses are given sequentially. So you are not mixing the 3 courses at once; they are one after the other. There we have a Facebook page about our master, which is called Oceanography and Marine Environment, and there is a website dedicated to this on which you can find informations about the courses, but also informations about the life in the mine stations and so on and so on. Each of the website has each of the mine station has their own website on which you can also find indications about hosting facilities, what you can do, and also organization of the courses. So we precise the schedule of those 3 courses. So 3 courses per mine station, 3 courses that last each of them 3 weeks, and they will be organized between the 1st of October 2018 to the 1st of December 2018. So it's 9 weeks, and each of the courses are 3 weeks long. The first courses. So I mistake in the colors, so it might daltonism, but the yellow one are conservation and the blue one are future sea. So the first courses, which are between 1st of October and 20th of October, the first one is in Roscoff, and it deals with the dynamic of mine biodiversity and conservation. It's mainly devoted to the measurements of mine biodiversity in all aspects that you can find, including some aspect of genetic measurements or molecular measurements of biodiversity, and also the method for which you can analyze this mine biodiversity, numerical method that are used for this. It's more advanced that you can find for the first semester, so it will be also a complete overview of how is the current knowledge in the measurements of mine biodiversity and with the aspect of conservation. The second one is the one that is included into the future seas track, and it's about characterizing and forecasting trends in biological oceanography. It's quite of the base of identifying climate change, or I should say, the myriad of change that happen in the oceans. It's really based on the statistical and numerical method that are used for characterizing and forecasting trends. So it will give you really methods to identify what are the trends, to predict the trends in the future, to make scenarios for that. It's based on numerical method. It's based on statistics, statistics of series in space and time. Also, there is no prerequisite because we come back to the very base of the statistics that you have seen in the first year and elaborate on this, the method that are used for correlated data in time or space. The second period is between the 22nd of October to the 10th of November 2018. In conservation, the course in Roscoff is about management and conservation of coastal areas. On the contrary of the first one, which was really based on the measurements of biodiversity and how to apply these measurements to identify problematic of conservation, here Roscoff will enter really into a deeper process of how you can manage coastal area in such a way that you emphasize, enhance conservations. So it's also something which is the practice of management and conservation, but also the actor of management and conservation and how this is organized at the national and the European level. For the future sea tracks, the course is in community ecology. So you can see some transfer that we can do easily with biodiversity and measurements, but this one is more devoted about the adaptative landscape that community ecology characterizing community ecology and how this adaptative landscape move in time or are constrained by changes of the environment. So this community ecology unit as a part of experimental observations about the threats, about the species that you can find and how they are organized in ecosystem. But it's also a unit where you have an application of modeling to community ecology dynamics. And this modeling is also seen as a perspective of adaptative dynamics in community ecology, how they will be modified by global change according to their possibility or non-possibility of adaptation. Last period is between the 12th of November and the 1st of December. And then the two units will take place in Bagnols-sur-Mer. One is about coastal ecology and functioning, and this one is really more about ecosystem. So that's for the future sea. Mainly based in ecosystem, processing ecosystem, replacing the community and their adaptative capacities into more global system functioning where the biotope is changing. It's a mix between observations and experimentation. So it's really based on also experimenting the processes, how to characterize them, and how to combine them into a global conceptual scheme. The second unit for the conservation is human-induced impact on ecosystem. It's also something which aims at trying to show you the practice of assessing impact in ecosystem and how what we take as a conservation measure as impact on ecosystem as well, at the same time as they compete with project management and project implementation into ecosystems. So this is a course which is a course about impact assessment, mainly based on the modeling, because system-based impact assessment become the future of this discipline. And then there is actually a big effort which is done on this part. This class of human-induced impact assessment is made with professional. Actually, that's them who define most of the topics of the class, and that's them who evaluate the outcome of the class, the project that are done by the students. So it's really oriented toward the world of professional activity, professional consulting, and expertise in ecosystem management and conservation. So that's the three units are organized like this. So you see two in Roscoff for the first period, and 4 in Bagnols. They are organized sequentially, so that means that at the end of each of the course, you have one evaluation, 1 or 2 evaluations, sometimes a little written exam to ensure that you have acquired the essential knowledge of the classes, but mainly done on the project that you will perform. So each of the units develop a personal project or a group project that is used for the evaluation. It's really based on practice, because we are on marine stations with a logistic, with a lot of means to study ecosystems. So it's easy to go on the field. It's easy to do measurements. It's easy to be close to the research laboratory that perform sampling on the field. So this is mainly based on this on this practice. There is also the practice of how you can combine observations and experiments and with numerical tools to analyze data, which also consists one of the strength of what is done into these marine stations. Finally, what one of the main interest, I should say, or component of this life in mine station is that each of the mine station offer you hosting facilities, room and board. Roscoff has manuals. The hosting facilities are quite good in those two mine stations. You have a single room. The cost of the single room, to give you an order of magnitude, is about 250 euro per month. It's actually a little less than this. It's about 225. It's revised every year, but it should not vary that much. The breakfast is including into this. You can have a prepared lunch and dinner for 4 euros about. Once again, it's a maximum price. It's more about 3.5, 3.6 euro for a meal. There is also a possibility to do it yourself. There is kitchen. There is a kitchen available for preparing your meal if you don't want to go to the restaurant, and you have a supermarket at proximities in a town, accessibly can access very easily. So there is opportunities for this. You are basically alone in the hosting facilities, except for the restaurant where the people of the mine station join. But usually you're alone into these things. So it's a kind of nice ambience, and there is usually no problem. There is no um, there is no need in any case, to book this. We do it for you as soon as you register in Paris. You have a room that is waiting for you at the mine station. If you don't want this room, of course, you tell us, and we will free it. But if you want to have a room at the mine station, you don't have anything to do. You see, there are also stuff that I put. You can do your laundry, you can do your drying. So a lot of facilities that are available. There are also, it's small villages. The mine stations tends to develop some activities. So you have some activities which are done by the PhDs or by the local entertainment association that provide you with this sort of activity. So the life of in mine station is quite okay. So finally, if you have any question, you can ask me questions. So you see my address is Jean dash mark, so the dash is 6. That's Guarini at IMBRSea.eu. Team will provide you with this as well. Don't hesitate to ask me any questions if you want. You can visit our website. I put this address also for administrative purpose, but the administrative purpose will be very light for you, because we will make registration online. Everything to do, so when you arrive in the mine station, your status is clear and you have no problems to be in the mine stations without no difficulties. Nonetheless, for those who need a visa, we can assist with the visa, and we will explain this a little bit further as you declare your intentions to participate to these units. We will contact you and do with you all formalities that are necessary to do. Okay, I think that's it, and I will stop my screen sharing and wait for question from you.
Okay, thank you, Jean-Marc. Let's see if any questions come in via the live chat box. So if you want to ask a question, you have to log in with your IMBRSea.eu email account, and after that you will be able to say something or to ask a question via the live chat. So we will wait a few minutes and see whether people are coming in. If no questions are coming in, as Jean-Marc just mentioned, you can also ask them via the email address that he provided, and that is also available on the IMBRSea webpage. I see no questions are coming in, so although I see, let's say, in the statistics that there have been 7 people watching at the same time, so it seems that people are watching this. So I don't see any questions coming in, so I think we can leave it for now regarding the streaming. So I will stop the broadcast now. Thank you for watching, and as mentioned already, you can also ask questions afterwards via a regular email. Thank you.